Hey, what's up, y'all? What it do? Catching me on the fly. Yeah, with this live stream, I had to reschedule it a few times because I got such a busy schedule. So I apologize for those that were looking forward to me going live sooner. But I'm here now, especially those checking this live stream out on the replay. Hopefully you like this one. This is pretty much a recap. Yes, it is. It is definitely a recap of a previous live stream that I did. And so I had did that live stream with Cool Gent 87. And so simply in this particular live stream, I want to just kind of pick up where I left off. Yeah, just pick up where I left off with everything that I was talking about back then. So if I get some traction in here, that's cool. If not, no biggie. So like I said, I cook in the kitchen. Most people get to see the result one way or another. But yeah, it's always good when I'm in the kitchen and someone's watching or they want to just kind of sample. But let me kind of get a few other things here together for y'all while I get going. Kind of want to talk about a few things, a few examples, because something I want to bring up more importantly is a disclaimer, because I've had to deal with things like while I'm on this recap here talking. My thing is with this channel here, I've always been saying that this channel is about the inverted perspective, basically me not being about the popular opinion. So that's not me. I'm not about the popular opinion. So for those that probably seek this channel for something similar to the manosphere, this is not the channel for you. So for those who seek a channel based on someone always bringing up scriptures, basing everything on scripture, showing you scriptures, this channel is not for you. Ironically, everything that I do say is based on scripture. And I'll show that here shortly with this particular recap that I'm doing. But also, if you think about what I'm saying, is I actually do see a lot of what has been said in the manosphere, even though I'm not part of it. So, obviously, there was a time when I first even got on YouTube and I checked out their content. I only really listen to the original manosphere type of guys because even they don't like the current manosphere either. So that's kind of where I came about and I started to emerge more as a content creator little by little. So, but yeah, like I said, if you're looking for that typical manosphere type of talking points and things like that, this channel is not for you. And if you want channels, me being here with like a lot of scripture and things like that all the time, every time I go live, this channel's not for you either. So, um, I'm just here basically bringing the living word versus the actual word. Not to say I'm not giving you the actual word, but see, most people don't live what they say. They don't live what they read. They give you scriptures, but they're not living what they're showing you in scripture. That's why, in many ways, like what I say over here, I call it like the living word. So, for example, let's talk about even this topic tonight, right? this afternoon. I mean, I'm so used to going live at night at this channel. So this one being an afternoon stream, given the date of this live stream. Um, yeah, the topic of this live stream: relationships, marriages are transactional. So let's talk about that now. Of course, in my previous live stream to this one, if you checked it out, uh, you'll know that I pretty much kind of threw that aside in regards to the whole transaction things. It's not that relationships and marriages are transactional. It's just that some of them are that way. But that's not to say it is that way by default. That it's absolutely that way and that it can't be any other way. No, we're not going to say that as a general statement and that's it. Like relationships and marriages are transactional and that's it. Nah, we're not going to say that. So here's what I mean. Like for those who might be like, well, Ray, you seem righteous, but you're worldly. For those people who shouldn't be here at this channel in the first place, just in case you're watching, check this out. So I thought I'd throw one scripture out there that this whole live stream can be pretty much relatable to, if you will. If you look in Luke chapter 6, verse 38, it says, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together and running over shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure ye met withal, it shall be measured to you again. So that right there, my friend, that embodies something deeper than a transaction or how some people would call an exchange, because we all know that in this world, exchanges are not fair. There's no such thing as a fair exchange. It's just an exchange. So that's where this transactional side comes from, because you got a lot of guys that are out here talking in these spaces about, they're not getting a fair deal. They're not getting a fair exchange in regards to a relationship or marriage. Okay, well, that's the deal, right? It's not going to be fair. And that's why you have to avoid it. Yes, I said it. You have to avoid a relationship or a marriage that seems more so like a deal or an exchange. Because yes, with the word deal, like I've said before, you scramble that word, you actually get lead. It should be about leading, no deal. If anything, sweetie, I'm just dealing with you based on how you pretty much accept the way that I lead, right? And so we can go further into this, but that's for another day. Basically, I'm just trying to show y'all that no, relationships and marriages aren't necessarily just transactional. They can be, but that's not to say that's the only way they can be. Okay. So it kind of goes back to even some of the golden rule in regards to what I'm trying to bring out. Y'all know of the golden rule when it says do unto others as they do unto you, when really it should be like do unto others based on how they do unto you. That's how it should be, to be honest, because to me that's more reciprocal. Like even in scripture, you know uh there's an accountability there when the scripture says, for with the same measure ye met withal, or with the same measure you give, the same it shall be measured onto you again. That's reciprocal. So like whatever you put out, you get back, like what they talk about with karma. So in these relationships and marriages, y'all, whatever you put out, you get back. So even for the person that did you wrong, they're gonna get theirs. You don't have to serve them up though. Let them deal with that in life. Trust me, life will get them hard enough. You put out good and they give you bad, good is still gonna come your way, despite the bad that they've done unto you. Okay? So don't try to remedy that situation though. Try your best not to remedy it. Okay, just walk away from it. Because I've found out even from my experiences, those situations only get worse. Every time you're trying to bring a person that did you wrong back into your life, they only get worse. It never gets better. If anything, they're looking for more ways to do you wrong. Okay, because you're trying to look for this fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for this fair deal. And really it should be more reciprocal. And we're going to get more into that. That's why I said relationships and marriages, they are transactional, but they're not entirely transactional. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up where I left off with the previous live stream that I did with Cool Gent 87 talking about this. Uh, what's good, Tampa? Good to see you in the building. Good to see you in the building. We're gonna continue on, and we shall chop up more here, y'all. So, um, that's it for those who've checked out the thumbnail. See on the thumbnail, y'all saw like the people shaking hands, right? You saw the people shaking hands, and at the bottom it said exchange versus communal, because those are like two different types of relationships that we see. Now, the exchange type of relationship is what most people allude to when they want to, I guess, go off the popular notion that relationships and marriages are transactional. And this is no pun intended for anybody I've talked about this with. It's just more or less that is the notion. And I get it. If you hadn't known better, that's what you would have thought. And I guess that's what I would have thought myself. But thankfully, I've always known better. So that's why I'm able to break this down to y'all. So yeah, y'all saw in that thumbnail it said exchange versus communal, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Because back in the days, even with the old mobsters, when they shook hands, they saw that as like, okay, that's our deal, but they didn't see it as like an exchange or a fair exchange. They saw it as really communal. When someone of that type of lifestyle shook your hand, they really saw it as like a connection, as a bond. They didn't see it as more or less a transaction, okay? And that's why when they felt like they had to punish certain guys, I'm gonna just leave it at that. They took it personal. That's why they were brutal in the way they punished certain people, because they took certain things personal based on when they shook your hand, thinking, okay, we had this going on. Not necessarily a deal, but like we had an agreement, and I thought we were tight like that, and you turned around to be fake or something like that, right? So that's where all that comes from. But on the realm of these relationships, okay, in marriages, let's go there. But like I said, for all those who might want something a little more of a Bible being thrown at you, I could just bring up one scripture like I just did, and that's all I would need to do. You have people, they bring up like several scriptures, and they're not saying anything. They're not even living what they're sharing with you biblically, right? So one thing I remember Cool J 87 he brought up in the last live stream, he was like, he wants to see the real woman. Not all that fake stuff, all the hair, the weave, and the fake nails and the fake eyelashes and all that crazy makeup. Take all that off. I want to see the real you. And I agree with him on that, because he also brought up this idea like, yo, I'm showing you the real me, my hairline and all. Whether I got a hairline or it's receding, I'm showing you all of me. And you can't show me all of you. But that lets you know the real true aspect of female nature, which is different from woman nature. But female nature is not about being transparent. Real female nature is not about even being honest. Okay? Female nature is all about the mask. And then even if you pull off the mask, there's a veil. Okay? So, um, one thing I want to bring up though, in talking about this situation, I had also brought up in the previous live stream some things. Like I brought up this notion of why a lot of bad boys, well, I didn't mean to say bad boy. I brought up about why a lot of good guys tend to lean towards bad girls, if you will. Well, it's not really that good guys like bad girls, okay? It's more or less like if the gal that he's with isn't being good to him, then he'll at least exchange something with a gal that's bad, even if he's not going to get anything out of it, okay? So, yeah, basically, a good guy, if he's not going to get intimacy from a gal that he's with that's not being good to him, he'll accept he'll accept an incentive from a bad girl. But over here, I always try to tell guys just avoid bad girls. Okay? You only want a gal that's good. You only want a gal that's good. You don't want a gal that's bad. She has to be about good, wanting to be good, okay? Or strives for it, but never about being bad. You don't want that. You don't want just an incentive. You want intimacy from the feminine, not an incentive, okay? But a lot of guys are now settling for incentives since they're not able to get intimacy from the feminine, at least that's so what a lot of them feel and what a lot of them say. But I say this, you have to make sure that's what you're getting from the feminine from day one and accept nothing less. And that will pretty much determine everything down the road. And then you'll actually start attracting feminine that will understand that they have to show intimacy with you first off. See, A lot of time that incentive of just sex only and no love pretty much keeps a lot of guys a certain way if they feel like, man, I don't want to go through all that work of hoping I could get intimacy from her. And then I barely have sex with her. Or if I have sex with her, it's not that good, or she doesn't think that I'm good at sex, right? But yeah, there's an article that I want to kind of talk to y'all about. And so simply put, I'll put this article in the description section for those that would be interested in it. But basically, I won't read off too much, just kind of go over some things which kind of ties in with this whole idea that, relationships and marriages are transactional. Basically, it talks about 8 reasons why. It talks about 8 reasons why guys choose bad girls first, right? So, one thing it says, because I don't want to plagiarize, but it talks on this idea that, they a lot of the feminine wonder why guys choose bad gals, and then they often discover that this whole time they actually wanted a good gal. It's just that they got around a bad one first. Now, to me, this sounds sort of effeminate right away, if you think about it, because a man should actually know what he wants. But if he hasn't been taught these things, he hasn't been around enough masculine principles, he's not going to know what's feminine and what should be feminine around him. It's not really that you want a gal that's good. You just want a gal that's feminine because feminine is good, right? But see, that's the deception. The deception, if you will, is you'll have some of the lesser feminine who are bad who can still try to who will act feminine, not that they really are, and then you get deceived. You go by this girl, I guess, looking more feminine, if you will, but then you find out that she's real ugly on the inside. I think that's what's key, fellas and ladies, for those who might be around those who are lesser feminine. Y'all know when she's ugly on the inside. Y'all know this, okay? Y'all know that already. Okay, but one thing, I guess one reason, because it talks about here in this article, 8 reasons why guys choose bad girls first. And so let me see if there's a name to this author. Just it looks like it's an anonymous person. So, but like I said, I'll put the link in the description section on the replay for those. But one reason why guys choose bad girls first, I guess, is under this notion that bad seems hotter. Does this sound familiar with how a lot of girls go for bad boys? Like I said, this really sounds very effeminate to me. But we're gonna read this off. This is the first reason. The second reason is bad girls are more outgoing. The third reason is it's an exciting risk. The fourth reason is no thoughts of the future. Interesting. Guys not wanting to think about the future? Like, we're going to get more into that. And then the fifth reason in this article it says is it's a challenge. I guess some guys like a challenge. I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I don't want a gal that's a challenge. I really don't. I don't want a gal that's a challenge at all. Now, if she wants a change, that's different. But I don't want a challenge. Okay? Because she needs to know I come from this outer space. My world is totally different. I'm outer worldly. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to rock your world, sweetie, because I'm from a different world. Okay. So another reason why these guys they like bad girls or choose bad girls is also because they're rebels. Okay. And then also a bad girl allegedly is not as intimidating. And then I guess last but not least, bad girls with bad girls, I guess it's fewer strings. I guess when they say this whole notion of no strings attached. Okay, so all this to really say more or less, like to kind of tie in with my title. That's where all this transactional thing is coming from. It's coming from this idea that I guess even with the eighth reason I just read off in regards to no strings attached. Um, this whole transactional thing of no strings attached. Um, that's what we're coming to nowadays. It seems like you know commitment is just not even a thought in the conversation, though. People always talk about it. Now it's like this with a lot of the lesser feminine. Well, I've tried a lot of different relationships and I'm just not into that right now. I just want to have fun and live my best life. I'm not really, you know, into that, but I still would like to cuddle with you. We still can do things together. If we end up sexual, that's fine, but you don't have to worry about a commitment. Like we can do it and then keep it moving. Like a lot of the lesser feminine are starting to become more detached to the masculine. Okay. And that's only because they've been around the lesser masculine. So when the greater masculine shows up, she doesn't know nothing about this whole attachment thing that this guy could be talking about. That's like a foreign language to her. Okay. She's like, no, like I'm not used to that. Like I'm not into all that. You know, we can have fun though. So it seems guys nowadays who are on a higher vibration, they're realizing like, yo, these gals just only want a transaction. And then like you see with these marriages, gals want to hit the lotto. If you got like a lot of dough, you know what I'm saying? Like they going after you to hit the lotto. If you get her pregnant, that's hitting the lotto. Ding, 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 ding with your ding dong. Okay. Keep that in mind, fellas. But that's how it seems. It seems there's no love in this. Like a lot of the feminine use their children as collateral, the whole transactional side there. I get that, right? Okay, but we're just getting started with this. And before I go further into this live stream, just 21 minutes in, let's sort of go over these 8 reasons. Like I said, I don't want to read too much because I want y'all to read it for yourselves and I don't want to be plagiarizing. But I do kind of want to go in to let y'all kind of see where I'm coming from and how this all ties in with this particular live stream. So, like with the first reason that I saw in this article about bad seems hotter. And like I said, this reminds me of how a lot of the lesser feminine wants bad boys. They think, oh, bad seems hotter. So a bad guy, that's hot. He's hot. Okay. But you play with fire, you're gonna get burnt too, right? Okay. So yeah, they said something about I guess guys look at bad girls as having sex appeal. Says something about that within this first reason as to why guys go for bad girls first. And that's still a guy being ignorant because he's not realizing that this idea of what her sex appeal is really just temptation and lust. Oftentimes, the devil wears Prada, as the movie says, right? Oftentimes, she shows up in that red dress, but then you turn on the lights, you realize it was pink all along. That's what Dillinger had to find out the hard way when he got set up by the gal wearing the pink dress under the red light. Yeah, but this goes in line with the Matrix movie of not being deceived by the red dress. I think that's what needs to be taught to boys. Forget just birds and bees. Talk about the red dress because it seems like guys early on, as this article indicates, they're deceived by the red dress. They think that's sexy and hot. And I'm not even shooting shots at gals that wear red dresses, okay? But I'm just saying, symbolically speaking, guys tend to think, oh, a hotter chick, that's feminine. No, that's not feminine. She's oftentimes a Lilith in disguise. She's there to represent all of your lustful desires that you shouldn't be carrying out, by the way. It should be about love, not lust. But you don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Nobody's really talking about what really love is about. Okay. So, but let's go into the second reason, just lightly touching upon it. About the fact that bad girls allegedly are more outgoing. You can get a good gal that's more outgoing than a bad gal. You might run into a bad gal that's more recluse. She don't want to talk much, and you have to constantly try to hit her up to get her attention, to get her to open up. Some guys like that. And we're going to talk about that as one of the reasons why guys like bad girls in this article. It says that it's a challenge for them. Okay. But yeah, with this notion that bad girls are allegedly outgoing, like, I guess because allegedly these uh these gals are just more or less outgoing extroverts or whatever, but that's really all a facade because this is who she's like in public, but when he gets her in private, she doesn't want to open up. So upon the first impression of her being outgoing, a guy likes that, But then when he tries to talk to her, she don't want to talk about what's really going on inside of her. But see, with a good gal, you're going to get a gal that's she probably a little shy out in public, but in private, you can actually talk to her. And then, like they say, get to know her more. I like to say grow to know, but I'm just trying to talk to where, most people understand where I'm coming from. And let's go over to the third reason, okay, about it's an exciting risk. See, once again, all this that I'm saying, my whole point of all this is, guys go for these bad girls, if you will, bad gals, because of the whole transactional side of things. And little does a guy know he's getting into something that's transactional, whether a relationship or a marriage, if you will. And he has to watch that. Basically, you're getting close with a bad girl, and you shouldn't be. Because, see, with someone that's good, it's not going to be transactional with her. It's going to be something else. And I've talked about this in a previous live stream, but I'll talk about it more here uh, in the next few minutes. With the good gal, fellas, you want with the good gal, you don't want a relationship or a marriage that's transactional. You want a relationship or a marriage that's transformational. Okay? Because a bad girl is not trying to be transformational. I tell you that right now. And some of y'all probably know. And some of you gals probably know gals like that. They ain't trying to change for nobody. They ain't trying to change nothing for nobody, okay? But yeah, this other thing, this idea that I guess with this third reason why guys go for bad gals, I guess it's like an exciting risk. So I guess like a roller coaster ride, but what guy really wants to do that? Like a guy in his rightful logical mind wants to go through all this roller coaster of emotion and stress and unpredictability. To me, this is effeminate. Like a real man actually wants peace. You don't want to be going through all that craziness. If it's going to be a thrill, it's based on his bill, if you will, not to be talking about tricking. But I'm saying it's based on, what he wants to do with her. And he's not going to make it dangerous. Like he just wants to have the feminine have fun around him peacefully. Okay. Now, but this fourth reason of guys going for bad girls first, allegedly, like I wanted to talk about this again. Like, I guess this notion of the feminine having no thoughts of the future. Like, um, yeah, and I see where this is coming from. Just skimming over this. Um, yeah, most guys don't want a gal like a guy really his masculine. He don't want a gal that don't think about the future. But see, here's the deal: the bad girl, the reason why she doesn't care about the future is because she only cares about now. Going back to that statement of living your best life now. She like, I could be this for you right now. I could be everything you want right now. I might not call you tomorrow. I might not answer your text message tomorrow. I might block your number tomorrow. But right now, I'm gonna give you the time of your life. You might find this type of gal on the street, you know, and some guys might go for it if he feels he already has a bad relationship or marriage that's already transactional, where there's a lack of intimacy. He'll go for that incentive with a chick that has no thoughts about the future. He'll go for that. So for this fifth reason is a challenge. Lightly touching upon that, guys love challenges. Guys love challenges that are in their favor. They don't like challenges that you really don't know the outcome. You just, it's like you putting a puzzle together, but you know that eventually the puzzle will come together, right? But a guy don't want to deal with a puzzle he doesn't know is going to come together. And that's what it's like with the feminine. So basically, the way you do this, fellas, is you got to make sure that she's sure about being around you and that she wants to be around you for the right reasons and she's willing to accept the changes that come along with that and even the changes that will have to take place with herself that comes along with that. She must be that puzzle piece. Yeah, that puzzle. I said it sounds like pizza. Hey, I guess all in the same puzzle piece, puzzle pizza. I don't care, but come together, it's gonna be good. She's got to want to be that in your life. If she's not trying to be something good in your life, the way you're trying to put her together and things like that, you stay away from a chick like that because she's just going to become more chaotic around you, right? So, yeah, guys. Once again, guys It's not about if guys want a challenge. It's more or less like guys want a challenge that's in his favor. That's what guys like. Okay. You know, guys are logical. They plan things and, or at least they prepare things. I mean, it has to be in a man's favor. Okay. And then I guess with this seventh notion, uh, oh no, let me skip. I'll skip one. Okay, the sixth reason, okay, is for the notion of these gals being rebels. Man, I'm going so heavy with this. I might have to do a part two of this. It looks like I got to get back on the clock, y'all. Like I'm literally live with this. So I'm gonna sign off here, and I'm gonna go live again probably in a couple of hours or so, and I'm gonna continue on with this live stream. I'm gonna make it an encore. So hopefully y'all like this on the replay. Check out my links to my other channels. Uh, if you want to tip yours truly, that's also in the description section, but as well as this article, okay, that I'm going over. So I'm at the sixth reason for why guys want to be around bad girls first and how that ties in with this live stream in regards to relationships and marriages are transactional, even though I'm obviously also debunking that notion in many ways too. Okay. So we're on the sixth reason. I'm going to go over that and then we're going to conclude that in the next live stream that I guess I'm going to make an encore to this one. See y'all on the next one ASAP. Hopefully y'all enjoy this one on the replay. Make sure if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you like my content. Hit that notification bell. Share this live stream with somebody. Make sure that you hit that like button if this live stream made sense to you. And keep that popcorn, nachos, and hot dogs and soda for the next live stream on the way. See y'all on the next one. Thanks a million for stopping by. Much love.